Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Just Say Guay. I'm your host, George Guay. Today, I bring on John Gilmour as a guest. He just signed his second NHL contract with the Buffalo Sabres after spending time with the New York Rangers and the Hartford Wolfpack. John helped the Providence College Friars win their first national championship back in 2015 as a defenseman. This will be my last episode before going back to Providence College for my senior year, which I'm very excited for to get many more interviews. I appreciate everyone for watching this summer, from the first interview with Jack Dugan up until now. Really appreciate it. Let's get John on the phone. Hey, John, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear. You're on speakerphone.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I just want to say thank you for coming on. You're my first professional hockey player to come on the show, so it means a lot, making a little history. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, it's my pleasure. Anything for Friar Fam, and pretty cool being the first hockey player on the show.
Yep, absolutely. So, obviously, I know who you are and what you've done. I think people in my grade know who went to hockey games when you were at Providence and still follow what you do. But obviously, for the younger generation of people at school and watching, could you just introduce yourself, where you're from, what teams you've played on, stuff like that?
Yeah, well, obviously, my name's John Gilmour, and I come from Montreal, Quebec, and I played at Providence College. I got recruited to go play at Providence out of junior hockey when I made the move from Montreal to go play out in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And Nate Lehman recruited me, still coaching at Providence. And from there, he built a fantastic program. I was lucky enough to get drafted after my freshman year into the National League. I got drafted by Calgary. My junior year, we would have won the championship against BU at the Garden, which is obviously my fondest memory of my 4 years. And after my senior year, I was lucky enough to be able to turn pro. I'd worked on my game long enough where the Rangers took note of that, and they decided to sign me to an entry-level deal. So I'll be going into my fourth year professional hockey, and my first 3 years were in the New York organization, and now I'm making a fresh start in the Buffalo Sabres organization.
Yeah, so you signed your second contract with the Sabres early this summer. Congrats, along with a few other Friars. We had Achari move to the Florida Panthers, and we had Brandon Tanev move from the Jets up to Pittsburgh with Sidney Crosby and those boys. So what led you to wanting that fresh start and making the decision to go to Buffalo?
So last season, I had spent some significant time in the minors, but while I was there, I knew I couldn't pout or anything like that. I just had to play as best as I could, and I ended up having a pretty good year. And I knew I was a free agent in the summer, so once July came around, there was some interest from around the league, and my agent and I we went through the list, and we went through the pros and cons of every team, and obviously the numbers were right, and the situation was right in Buffalo. So when I was narrowing it down, my gut was telling me that Buffalo's got a good thing going there, and it'd be a good place for me to try and break in, and I really wanted to be a part of it going forward. So I felt really comfortable making that choice.
Yeah, so Buffalo is very appealing. It's definitely a team that's on the rise and can definitely go to the playoffs over the next few years. I was wondering, was the youth of the team a factor? Because if you take a look at the numbers, Buffalo, 4 of the top 5 guys in the team that in points, they're all under 25. And you also have one of the top next guys in the league. Once Ovechkin and Crosby go, it's going to be McDavid, Eichel, and a couple other guys. Was that appealing as well?
Yeah, it was certainly very appealing. You want to be – all those teams in the NHL have star power, but Buffalo's got a wealth of star power. They got Dahlin and Eichel, as you mentioned. So definitely had a factor into it. It definitely definitely a team that probably underperformed last season and is a playoff team this year. So I just want to be able to add value to that team and go in there and make an impression. And if I can help them win, then that's great.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a good situation for you. So obviously up in Buffalo, you're very far from New York City. You're not far from Toronto, though, but obviously that's Maple Leafs country. So you really just have the Bills and you guys. So if I'm a huge hockey fan up in a very good hockey town, what should I expect from you as a player on and off the ice?
Well, yeah, you're definitely right. The setting is a little different in Buffalo compared to the busy streets of NYC. It's nice to be playing in a city that's a lot more concentrated on hockey, like you said, just the Bills and the Sabres. For a player like me, you can expect a two-way defenseman. I think my skating is my strong suit. I'm a guy that's going to be able to get up the ice, join the rush, and also a guy who's going to be able to get back quickly for pucks and make a good first pass. I just want to be I take pride in my game and trying to even out all my weaknesses. So, maybe a smaller D-man has a stigma where he doesn't defend as well because he's a little smaller, but, I'll use my feet, and obviously I work on my strength a lot in the off-season. So I'll be able to defend against the bigger forwards as well and play in all three zones, and I just want to contribute each and every night.
Yeah, I definitely think that you will. So I think obviously there's no denying with this. You can agree or disagree with me, but hockey's not a very publicized sport in terms of free agency. There's so much noise with the NBA and the MLB with guys with their teams where they're going even years in advance. So I didn't really find out about this, especially with Tanev and you. Were the other teams that were involved in your decision process?
Yeah, hockey is definitely a sport that's more under wraps compared to the NBA and NFL, and it's always been that way, and it's more of a blue-collar sport, it seems, and I kind of like how it's a little more private like that. Hockey players don't tend to want to be boisterous and flaunt about their stuff, like maybe some other sports do, but it's a lot more humble of a sport. There are teams around the league. There's a handful of teams. I'd have to go over the list again with my agent, but when we were breaking it down, it came down Buffalo stood out the most, and that's why right away in my gut it felt right. So all the other teams kind of just flushed out in my mind, and my heart was set on Buffalo.
Okay, so obviously in other sports, the great thing about hockey I find is that you can't really. It's hard to predict who's going to win the Stanley Cup before the season starts. Football, you kind of know with New England Patriots are going to be in the mix every single year. Basketball, whatever team has the highest star power is going to go to the finals. So, is it motivating to you guys that pretty much every team has a great shot at winning it? I mean, especially after the magic that St. Louis pulled off with the rookie goalie and being in last place on New Year's Day. Does that motivate you guys that pretty much everyone has a shot?
Yeah, there's so much excitement going into the beginning of a hockey season because you know how long the hockey season goes. 82 games is a grind, and like you said, it's not like the NFL and NBA structurally where you can almost predict who's going to be in the finals. Like you said, look at St. Louis; they were dead last in the league in January, which is in the National League, if you're dead last, you're pretty much counted out. So the fact that they were able to go all the way to to the finals and win it, that just gives hope to everybody. And then you also look at a team like Tampa Bay that was leading the way throughout the entire season, and then they get swept in the first round. So it's basically anyone's league, and I'm sure every team in the league going into training camp is going in with the mindset to win the cup at the end of the 8 months.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That makes it more exciting because you just don't really have one person that can really run the whole league like a Tom Brady or a LeBron James. It's just every year can be different. Look at the Capitals and how they won it, and they lost to the Hurricanes in the first round, and just shows that anything can happen. So let's wind back the clock a bit. You're on the road against Minnesota. You get your first NHL goal on a one-timer on the power play, which is something you were very known for in college. Take me through that. How did that feel?
Man, that was special. Going back, I remember we were getting into the rink at Minnesota, and I was like might have been my first week in the National League. I had just been called up for the minors, and it was my third game. And Minnesota just has such a nice establishment. I remember the rink was so nice. I think it was pretty much brand new, and they got up to like a three goal lead on us. Their barn was going crazy. We were pretty depleted on the bench, honestly, because it just felt like, man, we were in for a long night. And then they got a penalty in our second unit. Power play came out, and we were lucky to get possession right off the draw. And I remember Tony D'Angelo gave me a really nice flat pass, and that's just how we drew it up. Is that if he puts it in my wheelhouse, I'm just gonna rip it. And there wasn't much thinking involved, just reactionary at that point. And when I ripped it and I saw it went in the net, I remember thinking like, wow, my arms felt light, my legs felt light. It was just a really special moment, and obviously one I'll never forget. It felt like a whole culmination of what my whole life was leading up to that point. And then, the Rangers organization is so nice and classy. They gave me that puck. They got me that puck nice and framed with the game sheet and a picture, and it's hanging up on my wall here at my parents' house. So, really good moment, and it's nice to think about that every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a memory that'll last forever. So, obviously, I got to get into a few questions about your time at Providence College. So, it's been said many times how your class is definitely one of the most memorable ones in history. You got yourself, Brandon Tanev, Mark Jankowski, Kevin Rooney, and so many more. Did it feel like that you guys really changed the culture there? I mean, the year before you guys got there, it was a 14-win season, and ever since, especially with Coach Lehman, every year it's a title contender type of year.
Yeah, we like to joke about it and brag to other classes that we played with, and tell them that we were the class that went in there and changed everything. So we joke about it, but we did think that we were definitely an influential class. And like you mentioned, all those players, but we were just tight knit ever since we came onto campus. I think it was July 2012. Where Nate had us doing summer school for a month, and we just bonded real well. We were 12 guys or 13 guys at that point, and we were all hungry, and we all wanted to play. We all wanted to play Division I hockey, and we wanted to win. And Nate Lehman really whipped us into shape. We didn't know what it took to win at that level, or how to train, or how to take care of ourselves, and it was a learning process. But as you said, the culture before might have been a little worse, but Nate went in there and cleaned it up. He held the program to a really high standard, and we were able to grow in his structure. And as you saw the results by junior year, I thought we were a phenomenal team. We won, and then even our senior year, I think we didn't even win. We didn't lose a game until after Christmas. So I thought our team senior year was even better than our team junior year, but obviously we didn't get the final result that we wanted. But, as a group of guys, we wanted the best for that program. We wanted to leave on a high note and propel classes coming after us for success. And I think we did that, and I think Nate's continued to do a phenomenal job there with that program. And he took it from a bottom feeder to nationally ranked every single year.
Yes, and it was obviously a memorable time for you guys there. So I was a freshman when your class, you guys were the seniors on campus, and like you guys said how close you guys were, and I really admired that. I think you guys were definitely the closest class in my time at school watching you guys. So if you want to rewind back to after winning the national championship, a lot of you guys definitely, I think, probably could have left and moved on to the pros. We've seen it happen. I've seen it happen every year. There's always one or two guys that leave early. Couple guys that you played with, Jake Wallman and Eric Foley. So I was wondering what made you guys stick together, because the only one who departed was John Gillies, but obviously, he went out on top, and you guys easily could have made that decision yourselves.
Yeah, for John, it made more sense for him. As a goalie, I think they have a different trajectory compared to players. But as for the players who had opportunities to leave, you look at Janko, he was a first-round pick, and every other guys had offers too to leave, and there's really no rush to jump into the pros. We're all still really young, and when you have a program like Providence and a winning program where if you stay an extra year, you're only going to enjoy yourself, and you're only going to get that much better because we have all the right facilities, like with strength coach, nutrition, and obviously the on-ice product. So you want to take that year. You want to take that year when it presents itself to you, because you're not going to get that back. And when you get thrown into the melee of pro hockey, you might never know where you're going to end up. So you might as well stick with what you know for the last year that you have it. And every single guy that went back for their senior year, I'm sure is extremely grateful that they did, because you never forget your senior year. It was really special, and obviously it goes beyond the hockey team. It's just being part of the community of Providence College is something I'll never forget, and I'm so happy I was there for 4 years. Those are friendships that'll last forever.
Absolutely, and I think whether you're an athlete or just a student who doesn't play sports, everyone feels that kind of special 4 years, and how it's just bigger than being just the school itself or the sports team. It goes a longer way. So I was wondering your opinion on this. So team went to the Frozen Four this year in Buffalo. They didn't win it this year like you guys did, but they came pretty close. So did it feel good to know that the team that was leading the charge this year were freshmen when you were a senior, that you kind of showed them what it took?
Yeah, it did. I was watching that game. All of us were, and wherever we were on the map. But that's the funny thing about the Frozen Four. It's the one game elimination, or the NCAA tournament, in that matter. It's one game elimination. You just got to get hot at the right moment, and the game really comes down to a few bounces here and there. But yeah, definitely so proud of the guys on that team. To go to the Frozen Four, be one of the 4 teams standing in April it's very special, and it's very tough to get to. Very proud of those guys. The guys who are still there and going back into this season, probably getting on campus pretty soon. They know what it takes now to get there, and they also know that it's going to be harder to get there this year, because people are going to be gunning for them every single night. So wishing them good luck, and I'm an alumni, so I'll be watching closely and just hoping for the best.
Yeah, that's awesome how you guys kind of stay connected and kind of synced in with the team and where they go. So last question. Obviously, you guys were with each other for 4 years. What's it like to play against them in the pros? If you see Janko or Kevin Rooney coming down the wing and you got to step up, does that feel weird?
So my first NHL game, I got called up, and it just so happened it was at Madison Square Garden against Calgary, and that was obviously Janko was playing. So to share my first game on the ice with one of my best friends was, the whole night kind of felt like a dream, and just like exchanging glances at one another, and you kind of chuckle almost underneath your breath, because that's your boy on the other end. And I remember I spent some time in Winnipeg with Brandon, going out to eat, and it's nice to have friends that are playing at that level, and that you're sharing the same experience as them, and it's definitely very special. But when they're coming down the wing, you definitely maybe want. I'd love to throw a big hit on one of those guys, because it's all in good fun, and maybe it's a little bragging rights when we see each other in the summertime.
Yeah, it's awesome that you guys still have that connection. I played, I know it's not the same level, but, played high school soccer with a few kids that we've played since we were like 5, and we don't really have that connection anymore. So I'm glad that you guys are still keeping it going. But, John, I wish you the best of luck with the Sabres this year. I'll be sure to watch. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, man, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And, get excited for the school year, man. It's going to be a big one.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a great one. Take care.
Bye-bye. Well, everyone, that's my interview with John Gilmour. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time. Just say Guay.